You're great. We had good socials this year. We hope to keep those coming in the years to come. Now, I feel like there's somebody else I should thank. Oh, Lazaro. So I enjoyed working with Lazaro, getting to go to events and schmooze together and try and introduce people to Rotary. And I couldn't have done this year without you having your help on the board. So thank you, brother. And I'm wishing you the best in your year. You also get a beautiful Rotary. All right, and now I'm going to shut up and turn the program over to Rick Lindsay.
Yeah, Rick.
Past presidents, flag boss extraordinaire. Get away, boss.
Thank you, past presidents. I'm going to just deviate for a few minutes from the script I have, because I would like to share with you an emotional event that happened yesterday morning. So bright and early, I met Richard, Raymond, Jose Parra, Rodney from YMCA joined us at Building S. We loaded up 100 flags, put those out. And as we were finishing up Millennium Fountain, a car pulled up and the gentleman rolled the window down. And he said, "The flags are absolutely beautiful." And I said, "Well, thank you." I said, "This is the Rotary Club, and we work to put these out for 5 holidays." And his English had maybe a Spanish accent to it. And I said, "Well, where are you from?" He said, "Well, I'm from Cuba. I made it to Florida, and I made it to Texas. And these flags are absolutely beautiful and warming to my heart to see." And I thought to myself, I have chill bumps now, but I thought to myself, gee, that's why we do this. It's for all the people who are making the march thousands of miles to come here and enjoy the fountain. And also for the residents that live here. And Kathy shared a story with me. She was downtown Irving yesterday, and a shopkeeper lady said, "Kathy, have you been to the fountain to see the flag?" So, you know, it's a beautiful thing. So we're all there putting them out. We're pretty finalized. So I sent Joe Moses, who is the head of the Parks and Recs City of Irving, super guy, super sponsor. I sent him a text and I said, "Hey, Joe, look out your window." Well, a couple of seconds later, I got a picture out Joe's office window shooting through the trees of the Millennium Fountain. And I have to tell you, those flags are outstanding. Bill, we used some of the new ones that you put together. Toward the end, we were about to leave, and the inspector general said, "You know, I think there's one over there that's kind of faded. I'm going to go replace it." And so Jose Parra goes, gets a new flag, goes, cuts that other one, puts a new flag. You've got to go see it. And we're blessed to have the downtown girls who will maintain that. Sylvia and Donna and Patty. And y'all will go by and make sure that they're tall and straight and you know, looking good. So congratulations to all of y'all. Well, it's an honor for me today to do the installation of the new directors and officers. The Irving Las Colinas Rotary Club was formed on February the 2nd, 1937 by a group of men who formed. They'd been to Dallas. And they decided that this growing little suburb out here on the railroad and Cottonville needed a Rotary Club. We celebrated the 85th year anniversary here in this room on February the 17th, 2022. Many of you were here to enjoy that event. And as we prepare to install the new board, I would like for you to think of the year ahead as your opportunity to write the 87th chapter in the history book about the journey of this Rotary Club. Each of you will have an impact in the accomplishments and successes of the Irving Las Colinas Rotary. Think about it, 86 chapters have been completed, and you are the beginners and the authors of a new one. Many of you have served in the same capacity last year. Some of you will be assuming new and or expanded responsibilities. And to our new Rotarians and all club members, you are important members of this journey and will also like to contribute and impact this new chapter. Each of the officers and directors is challenged to play a vital role and provide an important part as we move forward into the Rotary year 2023-24. The momentum that has been building as a result of previous boards and past presidents, the hard work and commitment to the Rotary motto, service above self. Service above self. So as I read these job descriptions, think about what that means to each one of you, even if you're not a director of one of the avenues. Think about what service above self means to you and that commitment. Each person has been elected to an office and a position on the board of directors. And while you constitute a board of directors, you consequently have joint duties to perform in addition to your individual official avenues of service and administrative duties. You are responsible for the administration of the affairs of the club. You must determine the policies and activities of the club, work with prospective members, and continue to develop a strong club. In brief, all of the general management of our Rotary Club rests upon you. Together, you will contribute to Chapter 87 in the life of the Irving Las Colinas Rotary Club. So with that, I'd like to go through and describe the responsibilities and ask each one of these incoming directors and committee chairs if they will accept. So as I call your name and you join me in front, I would appreciate it. Well, I have to start off with the club secretary, Donna Reviano. Donna, please join me up here. Thank you. We need to give her a few extra pages in this book. Donna, the job of secretary is one of the most difficult of duties. You've done that now for the past year, 2 years, 1 year, and you're coming back. You take your girl. It is your duty to keep a careful and accurate record of the activities of the club and preserve the records for future reference. You must keep a careful record of membership, attendance, minutes of all meetings of the club. In addition, you will focus on maintaining an orderly, dignified, and effective Rotary Club meeting that makes club visitors and guests feel welcome. So if this bird starts getting out again, you're the hammer.
You're the hammer.
It's your responsibility to prevent any occurrence that might detract from the dignity and prestige associated with the Rotary Club. You have an important role in the success of each weekly meeting. Because of the duties you perform, the president can concentrate on conducting the meeting. The good news, you have an enforcer, Sergeant at Arms, Lieutenant Toby James. And I don't see him here today, but he has accepted that role. You have an important role as a manner in which you perform your duties can directly affect our club attendance. In your hands is the place of success of this group. This group can rise or fall through the efforts of the Secretary. Donna, do you accept these responsibilities? Okay, thank you very much. You'll join me and stay right over there. I appreciate it. Next, I would like to ask Club Treasurer David Harris. David just took a bite, I know. Join me up here if you would. Dave, you have been elected to serve your club as treasurer, which in addition to financial ability and stability, demands personal integrity. A quality your fellow club members saw while electing you to office. You've been doing this how many years? Yes. I was gonna guess 30 years. Now I'm 59, trying to think you were the treasurer. Anyway, you've been doing it a while. You got to figure it out. Your duties will be to oversee the funds of the club, keep proper records, distribute those upon request, make reports of finances at such time as the president and officers may require. A sound financial foundation is necessary for the health of every organization. And you have been elected to maintain such a foundation for this organization. You will include a complete report in your section of Chapter 87 as it is written. Dave, do you accept these responsibilities? All right, sir. Thank you. You join us right here. Woo. Club Service Director is Dr. Jose Park. All right. Club service is regarded by many Rotary leaders as the most important part of the club membership. Because without a well-functioning club, little can be performed in the other 4 avenues of service. This is indeed an important area. Among the committees to be highlighted in the club service section of the chapter are attendance, fellowship activities, program, public relations, and club bulletins. You will maintain close contact with the club treasurer and secretary, and you will work with the president regarding the program of these 2 club assemblies. You will also work with the president-elect regarding classification and membership development. And by this time next year, you will have written an accurate account of this year's activities and accomplishments. Jose, do you accept these responsibilities? Yes. That's important. Good. Well, join me right over there. Excuse me, but I'm getting dry. Well, it's a pleasure welcoming us next door. He's done a great job over the past couple of years. Ryan, maybe with you as membership chair, join us up here. And well, Ryan, thank you. Yeah. All membership is to develop and implement develop. To be effective, a Rotary Club needs members. Your club's ability to serve the community, support the Rotary Foundation, and develop leaders capable of serving Rotary beyond the club level. Thank you, Max. Fastest Governor, is directly related to the size and strength of this club membership base. Pretty heavy burden.
No pressure, but don't let us down.
The responsibilities of club membership include the following: develop committee goals to achieve club membership goals. I'm sure you and Lad have been talking about that this year. Conduct club assessment to determine the strengths and weaknesses. I think you know how to do that. You probably teach that in your business.
I think.
Yeah, I thought. Strengths and weaknesses. Work with the public relations committee to develop a positive club image that is attractive to prospective and current members. Get up there. Develop programs to educate and train new and current club members. And we're blessed to have a past governor who I know knows how to give new member orientation better than anybody else in District 5810, Max. So you got that part covered. You will have an exciting year, and it will be rewarding to see what is included in your year's accomplishments. Ryan, do you accept these responsibilities? I do. Thank you, sir. Well, thank you. Okay, I can make up lots of stuff for this next job, but he's not here.
Yeah.
An important part of Rotary is the vocational service, and that director for next year is Terry Oliver. And I'm going to go ahead and read this because I want you all to understand and the new members to understand what all Terry's going to be involved in. He will contribute to this chapter. We'll focus on accomplishments of various committees within her program areas. So she's going to have several committees. She's going to need to ask the rest of us to respond with a yes. So her committee will devise and carry out plans to assist the members of the club to engage in vocation service projects in the daily practice of vocational service in business and in professional life. She will plan programs and activities for vocational service month of October, and she will select individuals to chair the following committee. Here's where the rest of us come involved. Career development, vocation and work, vocational awareness, vocational awards, and Rotary volunteers to assist in accomplishing the goals of this program area. Her section will be filled with a wide array of experiences. Laz, I think you visited with Terry and she has accepted this responsibility.
And right now, she's working with 2 volunteer groups, Irving Care, and that's what she's trying to get away.
Excellent. That sounds like Terry.
Yes.
So I think you'll all agree, the programs this past year in 2 and 3 and 4, and the year that you did them in 2 or 3 years ago, our programs recently have been clearly outstanding. The lady that spoke about the whole, very moving. The young man that came the other day and spoke about a handicap of being blind and where he's gone on his journey. Amazing topics and the other presentations that we've had in different groups. So when you see Terry, tell her thank you. If you attend another Rotary club, if you meet somebody and you say, man, that'd be a good Rotary program, get their information and get it to Terry, and let's get them in here as a Rotary program. Thank you. Well, the past president may have thought he was kind of going to have an easy year next year, but got some good news. Director is past president Shane Webb. Shane is position responsibility to provide opportunities for youth. Leadership, programs such as Interact. February 23rd. By reviewing our club's international service history. Your contribution will highlight the activities of the following committees: International Youth Project, the Rotary Foundation, Polio Plus, World Community Service, Rotary Recreation, Vocational Fellowships, and we may just drill another water well in Mexico. I think that's on plan, not in May. 5. So, Max, do you accept these responsibilities?
I did.
Outstanding. Well, it's my pleasure to again recognize Dr. Jose Clark, Community Service Director. And Jose, in this position, you will be responsible for the club's community service activities and promote Literacy Month, which is next month. Okay. Salvation Army. We might be able to make that happen. In addition, you will supervise and coordinate the work of committees appointed for particular aspects of community service, such as human development, community development, environmental protection, and partners in service. Your contribution to the club's new chapter will focus on the experience and accomplishments in each area of the community service. Jose, do you take on this other helmet?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Well, Rotary Foundation Director is Val Bossy. Val, would you join me up here? Val, that new pen was good. Val, your responsibilities include recommendations to the board on district and RI grant programs and application. Writing, submitting, and follow-up on grants submitted is a part of your responsibility. Developing plans and action steps to achieve the club goals for Paul Harris contribution, Rotary Foundation contribution, and download and share reports from RI. Now, I thought this up yesterday. Is there anything you'd like to add to this area of responsibility? You think I've got it covered? No, Val and I had quite a bit of conversation. She does a great job, and I enjoy working with her on these, especially Paul Harris and some of the things. So Val, do you accept these responsibilities? Thank you very much. And as I said, I'm pretty sure he's accepted. Bulletin Communication Director is Mara Gass. Mara has accepted. You've got some great ideas of what you're going to do. Social Media Public Image Director is Jordan Austin. Yeah. I'm trying to write what you do. And the best I could come up with was Social Media Public Image Director. So I'm sure it's a whole page. Thank you for all you've done. You've made us take a giant step in the last 4 years, 19, 20, and 21. So thank you. That's it. Well, President-elect is Dr. Bill LaVar. See, you retired from preaching and kind of sat back there for a while. Now we get you right here. Only Jericho. Bill, you've been elected to serve this club as president. As next in office to the president, you become his understudy. You may be asked to at any time serve in his absence or incapacitated. You are also responsible for overseeing and coordinating the work of new member classifications, or helping us understand maybe where some areas are we can search for members, membership development, and Rotary information committees as part of club service. You have a big job. Your contribution to the 2023-24 chapter of this club will be firsthand accounts of these committees and avenues of service. Oh, and leader of the flag refurbishing operation. Everything that happens in the building is. Bill, do you accept these responsibilities?
This is pretty much what I'm doing, but yes.
Past president, Shane Webb. As past president, it will be Shane's responsibility to be an active member to the board and to give advice and counsel to the president and other members of the board when requested. His experience and leadership will be valuable resource as the new board implements its strategic plan of action for 2023-24. His section of 87th chapter focus on his role as past president and highlights of the year for him in that position. Shane, do you accept the past president's position?
Yes.
Reluctant. Somebody give me a drum roll. Got it, all right. President for 2023-24. I have a one-page aisle written in size 8 font. And I can't read. It says that Martha and Laz came to this country when he was 13 from El Salvador. Is that right?
My mom was already here, and Sylvia and I came when I was 13.
That's right. Okay, so y'all been here, like you're 13, she was. But
11.
good.
Yeah.
But anyway, he attended Austin Middle School, ran track, attended Irving High School. At one point, he may have held the record for the 100-meter,
Wow.
the mile, but he was beat out by. The record still stands by Bruce Burns, beat you by 2 seconds, 2:10. What was it?
2023.
Yeah, see, so a guy that runs the mile knows what his record. No, he worked, got through school, took AP classes, his senior year, attended university, double majored political science, international business, moved back to Irving. He has started the Irving Running Club. We'll hear more about that. Professionally, he was an executive of sales manager. Last one, go real quick. Then he has served on the board of directors for Irving Rotary, obviously, ambassador to Irving Las Colinas Chamber of Commerce and Irving Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And Mary Ann, you got here after we welcome guests. Would you please stand? Everybody help me welcome the president, the CEO of the Irving Hispanic Chamber, Miss Mary Ann Keller. Let's see, he's a past member of the Entrepreneur Organization Accelerator Program, leads community and regional projects. He started his own business, e-commerce systems, and marketing and branding strategies. I heard from a reliable source that he started driving at age 6. Does that tell you anything about him?
Different rules in this office.
Does that tell you anything about his personality? So, yeah. So, Laz, join me up here, please. It's a pleasure to welcome you as the elected chief executive president of this club. You are the most highly honored of all its officers. And with the greatest honor, you have been given the highest authority and heaviest responsibility. You know how at the races, when you got that 50-pound backpack, well, that's what you got. You got the 800-pound. You are the editor of the 87th chapter to be written about this year. As president, their duties and responsibilities are vast and varied. As the chief executive officer of this club, it will be your overall duty to lead the board of directors during decision and policy making process. And I've watched you in action. You don't have a problem doing it. Communicate with members of the club and preside at each club meeting. You are challenged to update the strategic plan to reflect your goals and objectives. Develop a budget to achieve these goals and present the planned budget to the board and club during an assembly for approval and transparency. You will seek counsel from others and consult with your fellow officers. You will keep in constant contact with your committees and advise them of their work. You must be ready to suggest to the board of directors plans you think benefit the club, and I know you have some. As you lead this club, you will keep one goal in the center of all your plans and endeavors. Last, that is to make Irving Las Colinas Club the best service club in the community in District 5810. Hey, let's think big in the world. So you got a challenge. Your section in the club, Rotary 8 Chapter 87, will highlight the club's accomplishments and your experiences as president. Laz, do you accept these responsibilities?
Yes, sir, I do.
For the two-time past president of this Rotary Club, it's a great privilege to welcome you to official responsibilities for the welfare of the club. I'm confident that you appreciate the honor bestowed upon you by the fellow Rotarians. I congratulate you, congratulate the club on the wisdom of choices for each of you as you begin this exciting 87th year. I encourage you to be bold, passionate, creative, and committed so that this Rotary year will serve as a historical account of 2023-24 accomplishments and set the bar high for the people who follow. So now, by the power bestowed upon me by the great state of Texas, Rotary International, and District 5810, I do now declare each of you duly installed. Congratulations. Give them your as District Governor Max DeBlanc, you would join me up front and do the official pin ceremony. There it is.
So.
Yeah. This has a long story. Last year.
You all scoot together. Sit up here.
All right, there we go. All right, sorry, baby.
I am going to begin our past president first, so we don't have the confusion of two presidents.
There we go. There we go.
Because it has. You is our newly appointed club president. And we have some great things. Thank you.
And present the ceremonial Rotary Son gavel to President Lazaro Alvarez. Thank you, Shane.
It's my pleasure, Rick.
Well, Mr. President, it's been an honor to serve today and to help with this installation that completes, my part of the program. But I have one thing I'd ask you. Can I ask you to, as a first order of business, would you present this Paul Harris to the past president?
Yes.
I'll turn that over. I can't.
So this is the pen for you guys that have very good vision.
All there is. And if we raise funds. Through Rotary, there's even more that we can do throughout the year, throughout the world. And so we recognize those in Rotary who have given at least $1,000 as a Paul Harris Fellow. Now, if if we can get more than $1,000 out of a person, then we continue with different levels of recognition. And so I assume we are presenting this Paul Harris in appreciation for the work of our.
I think that is correct.
And are you going to?
I'll go ahead
You know what they always. Thank you.
You ready for another?
Yeah. That'd be good.
Class, turn around. Thank you. Thanks.
Well, I know we have one more order of business and another installation. Rick Linson, you step forward. So Rick, you rolled as a flag boss, and the story that Rick told earlier, that wouldn't happen if it wasn't because of all the work everybody that's involved. But there's one person behind that gathers us and puts us in line and organizes a lot of different things. So with that said, Rick, will you accept the role of being the flag boss next season again?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I just want to say that it is an honor for me to be part of this club. I joined the club back in 2019, but a little bit of the story of that. In 2004, I was awarded the Irving Las Colinas Rotary Scholarship by a previous generation that wrote a chapter in 2004, and part of that was to do all the hard work and the community involvement from that club. I was the recipient and the beneficiary of all that work, which allowed me to go to college and allowed me to believe that I could do things in life. And so now it's a great honor for me to be back and serve the club and continue, so that way now we can pay it forward and multiply that times many more. And we don't know where we're going to get to, but as we'd like to do everything that we shoot for the sky. So I'm excited that I have a great board and that we're going to be working together in the upcoming months. So thank you again for all the guests that are here, and I do look forward to a great year working with everybody and figuring out what are some of the needs that the community has, so that we can work together, bring more people to the club so that they can learn about what service above self means. All of you guys that are here clearly know what that means, so we're excited to share that with the world. At this point, we'd like to conclude the meeting, but before that, I think we have to have a awards presented to everybody. I'm gonna go around and give everybody their plaque. So hang tight.
So you want us to play music while you do this?
No, I'm pretty square. I know you're gonna. Where you? And,
Can you introduce who you brought?
so I did bring, some of my family here, so some of you guys might know, my little sister that together
Which
with
one's
me.
your sister?
Sylvia Alvarez, if you wanna stand up. 1999, we were, my mom came to the United States in 1987, fleeing the Civil War. So we stayed behind with my grandparents, who raised us all the way until about 1999, and then both of us came here. And so, we have had a great journey together, and now we do quite a bit in the community as well. She's a realtor here in the area, so. And then she brought her, my little nephew, Brian Martinez.
Your little one.
We also have my fiance, Jackie Livingston, and her mom, Marisa Livingston. In addition, we do have, Mr. Ignacio Medranos, who you guys probably have, seen before or eat some of his, bakery goods. It's has a company that they distribute bread all over the Metroplex and different markets. Ignacio is from the same area of town where I grew up, but he was a great friend of my grandpa and just our family as well. So I'm happy to have somebody from our community that also serves a lot here. So a great example for us growing up. Again, I work with her service on her group, which is the Irving Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. So I invited her to come here, but another great example of the community as well. That's who I have here.
Okay, we need a picture of
Yes,
everybody.
and so, yes, let's do that. He was sick.
All good. Oh, that's great. There we go. Great, thank you.
Before we go, as a tradition, we recite the four-way test, and I'd like to invite a good friend and also a good mentor, and another person from our community, that's a Rotarian in another city, but works in our community, Joe Lopez, to lead us on the four-way test, on the things we say and do.
Welcome to 4 weeks lesson. Things we are doing first.
Is it the truth? Prepare to all concerned. With no goodwill. Ring the bell.